Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. Fabulous, that's something. So today's class is going to be a bit of a bridge between this and or last week's and next week's. Next week, I'm planning on doing some weights. So we will start with a little bit of body mobilization and a little bit of balance as a nod to our anti-aging one last week. So find a good position, either feet parallel forward, or if you want, feet turned out, heels close together. And we'll start with hands on the shoulders, just to make sure they're nice and loose, and we will roll. So simply doing nice little shoulder rolls, keeping the rest of the body disengaged while you start to catch your breath. Feel how everything is working today. Gradually increasing the circle if you can, and once in there's no pain. And reverse the direction. So nice, slow and controlled. That's it. Allow the shoulders to really fall down in between. One more this way. And then loosen the arms. We can bring those into it. So taking them up your head, round and down. Try to keep the arms straight. So you might want to make the circle a little bit smaller, but you're trying also to keep the ribs floating over the pelvis. So you're not arching your back at all. Just loosening the arms in their sockets. And again, reverse the direction. And every time the arms come down by your sides, the shoulders drop away from the ears and try and keep them down there as you circle. And final time. If you've got a cushion or pillow to hand, you can use that, or a pad. We will strengthen our latissimus dorsi around the sides of our bodies by just holding it under our elbow. And the same thing, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. We'll just squeeze the upper arm, squeeze the pillow into the body, hold it for a count of 10. You can perhaps use your out breath to direct that, and then you release it off again. So breathing out to squeeze the pillow and keeping that squeezing arm, shoulder away from the ears. And then after 10, just loosen off, ready to go again. And you should feel all those muscles around the side of the body starting to engage, even around the back of the shoulder blade, down the side and back of the body. A lovely, strong movement, this. Very powerful little exercise. And just as a reminder, whenever I say oranges under armpits, as I do quite often, this is the feeling I'm trying to engender and the memory of that. So it takes the pressure out of the upper shoulder down into the body to give strength and stability. And one more on this side. And then walk over. And again, take a moment just to loosen off the upper shoulder, find a good position, and then when you're ready to go, breathing out, squeezing in, holding for a count of 10. And releasing off. And again, take a moment to notice whether this side feels stronger or a little bit weaker, whether your shoulder gets involved in the movement, whether you have to think harder, or whether you feel beautifully balanced already. Really use your breath. And of course, if you need to take another breath in between, that's perfectly fine. And I think we've got 2 more. Breathing out, squeezing, keeping the upper shoulder away from everything. Really firing up the lats, the obliques. And final time. Good. When you've done, you can lose your pillow and you should feel lovely release up at the shoulder and a nice strength. Keep your body nice and upright here. I'll turn sideways, but you can stay where you are. We will protract and retract the arms and the shoulders, keeping them down away from the ears. You just slide the shoulder blades forward around the sides of your body to reach your arms forward, and then slide them back as if they want to kiss behind you. So again, you're not reaching forward or rocking back. The shoulders stay down away from the ears as you reach forward and stay in that position as they come back. So again, make it as small a movement as you need to be able to control that and keep the tension out. And I like to breathe in as I reach forward and use the power of the out breath to draw the arms in. So again, although it's a very small, tiny movement, really, very powerful. You're holding your arms out as weight. And because the shoulder is one of the most mobile joints in the body, it moves in all sorts of directions. So it's the least stable as well. So all of this is great strength work for the shoulder area. And that's it. I can't remember what I was going to do next. One more. Lovely. Give your arms a little shake if you need to. And building on all of that, we will do some more thoracic work. So again, back in the sort of elbow, just slightly proud of the lower ribs, but they keep there. We're going to breathe out, really press away the back of the palms, keeping the elbows close to the body. Breathing in, turn the palms to the ceiling, lift the heart so you get a little bit of back extension. Breathing out to turn the palms to face, breathing in to close. So again, tiny and small, breathing out to open, breathing in, palms to the ceiling, lifting the heart, breathing out to restack, breathing in to close. So you can imagine you're pressing the back of the hands through water or gel, or you're holding some bands, so you feel that engagement and tension. That's not the right word. You know, I mean strength. So if you just feel you're wafting, that's doing nothing. Real power. And again, you should be feeling it around the sides of your bodies as much as the pillow squeeze. That's it. Using your breath. Breathing out to open. Breathing in to turn the palms and lift the heart. Nice and controlled. Breathing out to recenter. Breathing in to close. And 2 more of these. Really feel your heart lift, your shoulders drop down your back and recenter. And final time, breathing out. Breathing in, palms to the ceiling, lift the heart. Breathing out to recenter. And breathing in. Fabulous. Make your legs nice and wide. We'll move on to waking up the legs a bit. You can just have hands and arms loosely by your side or on your whichever's comfortable. And we are just going to bend the knees, then think squeezing the bum to stand. So again, just focus on sending your arm a little bit further behind you. So you don't want the knees to roll in or out. The direction is towards the toes. But focus on squeezing the bum and thinking inner thighs coming together to stand. Nice and simple. That's it. And 2 more. Working the ankles as well. And we will work the ankles a little bit more. So we are going to squat down, lift the ankles off, stand and down, and bend. Lift the ankles, heels and stand and down, and bend. Heels off, stand and down, and bend. Heels off, and stand and down. Reverse the direction, so onto your toes, bend the knees, heels down, and stand. And tall, and bend, heels down, and stand. And tall, and bend. Oh, my ankles have gone there, down, and stand. One more this way, tall, bend, heels down, and stand. Good. So that's another just a little balance challenge. Hands in front, cross over like a little Cossack. We're going to put some stuff together with rotation. So we're going to bend, rotate, keeping the knees where they are, open the arms, close the arms, center, and stand. So bend, rotate, open the arms, close the arms, forward, and stand. Simple. Rotate, and open, and close, and center, and stand, and bend, rotate, and open, and close, and center, and stand. This time we're going to bend, come onto our toes, rotate, and open, and close, and center, heels down, and stand, and bend, heels off, rotate, and open, and close, and center, heels down, and stand. My thighs are burning already. Heels off, rotate, and open, and close the arms, center, heels down, and stand, and down, heels off, rotate, and open, and close the arms, recenter, heels down, and stand. That's it. March it out a little bit. Loosen off those thighs. Bring your feet closer together. Just one more balancing challenge. Very simple to finish off working the feet. We will prance. So heel one foot off. Come up, standing on both tiptoes, and then the other heel down. So changing in midair. Done it many times. Keeping, if you can, the hips are stable. So no hitching. Just up and down, lifting whole body up, working through the whole foot. Noticing if the ankles are rolling in or out, trying to minimize that. Allowing your arms to be nice and heavy, no tension in the shoulders. Couple more. And come standing. You can separate your feet hip width apart, and we'll finish our standing bit with a bit of side down, side bend. Sorry, very bad brain this morning. So sliding one arm down your leg. If you're happy to, shoulders are comfortable. Reach the arm overhead to increase the stretch. Underneath arm up. Coming back to spine to help you stand. Pressing to feel nice and tall. Over to the other side. Sliding down, feeling any difference in your body. Reach up, waking everything up. All, shoulders away from the ears as you press the arms down. One more each side. Sliding down, reaching over, 4, pressing down, sliding down, reaching over, underneath arm up, fall to the ceiling, and pressing down. Fabulous. So readjust. I'll just change my camera position. We'll come down to the mat, so just find your good comfort point. Proper Pilates. Strong, feet hip width apart, flat on the floor. Feel your big toe, little toe heel, nice and grounded, back of the shoulders. Elaine, I can't see you at all. I've got a fabulous picture of your mantelpiece. Sorry. And we will start warming up the back even more with our pelvic tilt. So very simply, breathing out, think healing the pubic bone towards you to hover the bottom, hold it there, and then place it back down again. And gradually working up the body, say to this very low point, and then gradually get a little bit higher. Using the ab control tummy button to spine to keep the curve in your pubic bone towards your chest, however low or high you get, until you place the tailbone and it unpeels spinal doors. That's it. Using your breath nice and slow and controlled. Breathing out, tummy button to spine, curls the pubic bone towards you, peel off piece by piece through the spine. And coming back down. And just notice if your knees are wobbling, try to minimize that. Let's come up the shoulder, blade bra strap level on your next one. So breathing out, pubic bone curls forward, spine unpeels like a string of pearls, up to that shoulder blade level, keeping the pubic bone curls towards you. Lift the arms up, reach them to the ceiling as you breathe in. As you breathe out, heel back down, and you can take the arms overhead and round in that lovely arm circle again. Ready to go again, peeling off piece by piece, reaching the arms to the ceiling as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, peeling down, taking the arms up and round back to your side. And if it doesn't feel right with the arms, just leave them down. That's it. And then reverse the direction on your next one, so you can take the arms round out to the side, up overhead, and as you peel down, bring them forward. Staying concentration through the spine though. Making sure your feet stay flat, shoulders are nice and relaxed, spine gets to work individually, piece by piece by piece. That's it. Do one more. And as long as your back's feeling all right, you can bring one leg into tabletop and the other one. You can take your arms out to the side and loosely on the ground, breathing in to take the knees over to one side, keeping the shoulders on the mat and breathing out to recenter. And then to the other side. So a lovely hip twist or hip roll to start with. If that's too much today, then feet down. You want to keep your knees glued together at all times. And if you want more of a challenge, when you take your legs over to one side, you can extend them and bring them back. And you might wish to have your heels together for that. So whatever level works for you today, keeping the back firmly on the mat, shoulders relaxed, breathing into the side and breathing out. Use your abdominal strength to pull the legs back to the center. That's it, lovely, Jackie, good. That's it. Elaine, don't go so far. You're very flexible. Just take it over to a point where you can control it. That's good. One more in each direction. And if you need to, just hug the knees in for a little breather before bringing them back into that tabletop position. So really think, as you put your knees in, you can feel the lower back imprinted onto the mat. Keep that there before taking the knees slightly further away from you. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, we'll do our toe taps. So from there, keeping the back down, squeeze the bottom just to tap the leg away from you. So you do want to get a little bit of stretch through the front of the leg, and you'll feel it through the abs, deep in your body. If it hurts, make it smaller and just bring the toe a bit closer to you. I really want you to think about sending the lower back into the mat and keeping it there, which will really start firing up the deep abdominals. That's it, Jeanette. Good, Jackie. Elaine, can I adjust your position ever so slightly? You're doing great. Tuck your back into the mat again. Bring your knees up one at a time, a bit closer to you to start with, a bit closer to your body. That's it. From there, keep your back where it is and then send your legs further away. Down to the mat though. And then back. Okay. One more for everybody. Don't overstrain. And then hug your knees in. Rock from side to side if you need to. And again, send your legs away. And actually, I think today, put them on the mat. If you want more of a challenge, feel free to have them up in tabletop. Hands behind your head, find the bony bit, palm on palm, just to give a bit of extra strength through the shoulders and breathing out, curling up. Breathing in, returning to the mat. So allow your head to be really heavy against your palm. And use your out breath, breathing out. And think about your sternum sliding down towards your pubic bone. That's it. Lovely, very good. So that should help to keep the pelvis stable on the mat. We don't want that end moving at all. We just want the front of the body sliding down towards our knees. So keep the bums glued to the mat, don't shift. Everything relaxing, be tiny, tiny. That's it, Maria. Good. That's it, Jeanette. Lovely, Jackie. Good. Drawing down into the body. Good. Two more. Relax back, and again, hug your knees in, rock from side to side. If you need to release back off. And then press your shins away to help come up into a little curl up. We'll do a single leg stretch and add on a little leg beat if you want. So you extend one leg out, keeping the other leg bent. So nice and simple to start with. Remember, you want to be chest towards the knee and not knee to chest. So the knee stays 90 degrees at the pelvis if possible. Maybe if it's too much on your back, you lie down and bringing the knee into the body. One more inside. And then hug your knees into the body to have a little breather. And we're doing exactly the same thing, but to a count of 3. So what we're going to do, come up, do the change of legs to 3, and then lift and lower the long legs to 3. And then 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. So just a little bit of extra. So when you're ready, another thing, forward, lift the lower leg, and then same, long leg to 3. And then change, and change, change. And the other leg to be done to do the 3 feet. And keep going. Many of you're comfortable doing. That's it. So chest to knee, curling forward, using your abs. Lovely, Jeanette. Good, Maria. Keep your neck chin nodded. That's it. If it's too much on anybody's back, then just stop, hug your knees in, and go back to single leg stretch. Good. That's it. Use your breath. Lovely. Keep tummy buttons drawing into the body. One more set if you can to balance yourself out. And then have a little breather, hugging the knees into the body, rock from side to side. So I can give you a nice little choice. We need to add in our oblique rotations to that. So you can either come up and rotate armpit to bend knee, exactly the same as you're doing with the legs. Or if you want to keep your feet on the floor, just rotate each side, thinking chest or armpit to the outside of the knee, whatever version you wish to do. That's it. Lovely. Good. So remember, whatever you're doing, if you can, both bum feet stay glued on the floor, and it's the ribs rotating. And use your breath really, knock yourself forward, and begin to relax back. Shoulders relax at all times. That's it. So the slower the movement, the more control you can get if you've got a dodgy back. Lovely. Well done. Fabulous. One more on each side. And after you've completed your last one, feel free to hug your knees in, rock from side to side, breathe, release the back, and then roll over onto your hands and knees, because we will continue with our back strength, working through the dog, and then add on a bit of upper body strength for some plank work, because why not? So finding the quadruped position, have a look between your knees to check your feet are in line with your lower legs. Have a think about your shoulder and wrist being aligned, and probably the inner crease of the elbows facing each other. If you've got pain in the wrist at all, take the weight onto the hands a little bit further onto the fingers, and from there, sending one arm and leg away. You can keep it on the floor just for a couple to feel how everything is today, stability-wise, and then of course, happily extending one arm and leg, focusing on the changeover, thinking oranges under armpits to take the work out of the shoulders and drawing up through the waist. So the back stays in exactly the same position. And we're trying to minimize any rocking forward and back during that changeover. Good. All right. After the last one, I'd like everyone to sit back on their heels just for a moment. And loosen the shoulders, because everyone's shoulders seem to be up by their ears. So I want you to do a big shoulder roll. Take the big shoulder blades down towards the pelvis. Keep them pulled back there for a moment, and then come back onto your hands and knees. And if you found they've crept up again, just draw them back. The more you did of these, the more the shoulder moves up to the ears. So draw them down the back in between each time. You want to use the strength down the side of your body, giving your arms space to move and to increase the work that your trunk does, your core does. That's it, better. Good. And use your breath. I don't mind if you breathe out to extend or breathe in, whichever you want to do. All the time, keeping the abdominals drawing into the body, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades sliding down your back. One more on each side. And then again, if you want to sit back into a child pose, or just somehow release the wrists if they're taking too much tension, and roll the shoulders just to double check they're nice and loose again. And I'll give you a choice. So we can either come back onto the hands and knees, and I just want you to hover either with your feet, the front of your foot, so you hover the knees, or if you're happy to, and you can come onto forearms if you've got problems, obviously, or you can step back into your nice long plank, and we can hold it there for a moment. Whatever version you want. So if you're on hands and knees, either tuck your toes under, think drawing up through the tummy to hover the knees, place them down, or feet flat, ideally. And if you're holding the plank, you can relax for a moment. Knees down, release the wrist. Good, so it's all good upper body strength and full body strength. And then we will add on some mobility. So again, if you're just on your knees and you want to hover, keep that going. Anyone in a plank, coming back into the plank, we will rock forward and back for 3. And then lift one leg. So you've got to really focus on having a hoist around your body to hold you up so you don't take too much tension into the shoulders, and change legs. So lifting the other leg and rocking forward and back for 3. So our front pull, then leg down, and you can bend the knees, put them back on the floor, release the wrists. Well done, everyone was doing that, that was good. Very violent release of the shoulders there, Jackie. If you're happy to, we'll try rotation. So you can come back into the plank, and depending how strong you're feeling, you can just turn slightly and send your bum to the ground and coming back up. So it's a little bear walk. If you don't want to do that, come onto your hands and knees, hover the knees, and just sit back onto the heels like we did last time and rock forward. So you can get a bit of strength movement. Otherwise, you're rotating, sending one leg away from you, heel to the ground, bum to the ground even, coming back up, and then the other way. There we watch. So remember, keep strong. That's it, Jeanette. Lovely, good, Maria. That's it, Jackie, good. That's it, Elaine. Wonderful. So it's balance and strength. One more if you can, to each side. Good. And then relax. So sit back, release the wrists, release the shoulders. Sorry, I'm going froggy. And I will let you relax a little bit by coming onto your side, grabbing a cushion or a pad. We will unwind any tension from that. Wow, beautiful chest release. The favorite moment just to breathe and be. So again, shoulder over shoulder, palm over palm, sitting in an imaginary dining chair, arms to the ceiling as you breathe in, breathing out, keeping the knees together, pelvis stacked, rotating the ribs, getting that stretch, enjoying that for a nice breath or two. And on your next out breath, tummy button to spine, the obliques for lats start to work to bring the arm back over to palm over palm. And continue. So just enjoy unwinding. No tension. Enjoying the breath. That's it, one more. Good. And then from there, just angle the knees away from you. You can change your arm position if it's more comfortable to have a hand under your head. We will work on our cell, nice and simple again. Breathing out, lifting the knee, breathing into close. Nothing special this week, but really focusing on not rocking the body, simply allowing the hips to open. So removing any tension from the shoulders, thinking still drawing that underneath waist away from the mat. That's it. Jackie, if you can keep the heels together so it's not just the toes, the whole foot, that might just give a little bit of extra strength through the legs. Good. That's it. Remember to breathe, relax the shoulders, just a couple more. Nice and simple, not effective. When you finish this one, lengthen arms and legs away. Again, if you want to pad between your arm, underneath arm and your head, feel free. Angle your legs so you see them out of your peripheral vision. Underneath waist drawing up. Legs squeeze together, breathing out. Just hover both arms, head and legs even, and place them down again. So breath out to hover, breath in to return to the mat. Don't have to come up too high. And again, really think about length rather than banana-ing into the mat in the middle. So it might be lovely and low. Any tension in your back, bring those legs slightly further forward. That's it. Maria, I think your lower half could perhaps roll forwards ever so slightly. Certainly the top leg looks like it might be behind the underneath leg, but it might be the camera angle. So I rely on you to make sure that's not happening. Good. Well done, Elaine. 2 more. Okay. Beautiful. And then you move the top leg, the hip height, lengthen it away, give a little push away of that top hip, keep it up there, and then squeezing the underneath leg up and down. So remember, both knees face forward, feet don't do anything, half does nothing, just thinking long and low and lifting through squeezing the inner thigh, that underneath leg. That's it. Lovely. So Maria, you can put your head down. This is just the leg lifting alone. Fabulous. Oh, that's all looking really strong. One more. And final challenge with the top leg lifted. We will just do 8 little circles in each direction. So just drawing a little circle with your toes against the wall opposite. Remember, stretching away though, so there's no movement in the body. Really working that top leg. Getting deep into the hip flexors and muscles in the bum. And when you're done, allow your body to relax. Give the hip a little bit of rub and love. And then you can roll over onto the other side, ready to start with that lovely chest opener. So grabbing your cushion again, setting yourself up in that imaginary dining room chair, underneath shoulder, drawing away from the ears, drawing up through the underneath waist and keeping shoulders down, hips stacked, knees stacked, breathing into open. Watching your arm go, but it only goes as far as those ribs will carry it, remember. A couple of breaths there, and then on the out breath, re-engage the sides of your body, ready to go again. Breathing into the lift, rotate. And that's it. Good. And we've got 2 more. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, finding that width through the body, allowing the ribs to direct the movement and your breath. And then when you've finished your last one, readjust. No rush for those that are still going. So make your top half comfortable. Move your knees away from you so your heels and bum come in line with the middle of your bottom. Sorry, you can tell I didn't sleep last night again. And then breathing out, lifting the knee, breathing into close. So again, keeping the tension out the top of your body. If you want to just double check you're not rocking your body back at all, hand behind you. That gives some really nice feedback. Breathing out to open the knee. Breathing in to close. That's it, keeping the heels together. But even if you're very flexible in the hips, you want to be able to control that and get the glute muscles working. Although they're the biggest in the body, they tend to be very lazy. That's it. Good. And 2 more. And then coming away. So again, find positions you want to pad under your head. Feel free. Just have a moment's notice whether this side feels more stable or not. And if you think you're just rolling back to find some stability, challenge yourself, roll the whole body ever so slightly forward before breathing out to lift and hover and breathing in to return. And again, tension in the back, bring the legs forward, tension in the neck, look down towards the mat. You don't need to come up really high at all. It's that long, low hover. Good. Breathing out to lift. Breathing into lower. So nice, slow and controlled. Fabulous. 2 more. Final one. And then we're lifting that top leg to hip height, stretching it away a little bit more, and then squeezing the inner side, the underneath leg. So again, lifting lower. So arm along the top of the body if you can, or in front if you need it for balance. That's it. Just allowing the feet to hang. No tension in there. Elaine, watch that foot on the underneath leg. Just ignore it. Squeeze the inner side. That's good. And 3. And keeping your head down, 2. And final 1. And then lengthen the top leg away a little bit more again. Point your toe and 8 little circles in each direction. To finish off and get an equal burn on this side. There we go, lovely. And when you've done, give that top hip a little bit of a rub, bit of love, and we'll stretch out actually. So just take your heels either side of the mat. That's a nice side. Hands behind your head. We will drop the right knee to the ground. Left knee goes to the right ankle, and you can just stretch away from those knees. Releasing off the hip we've just been working. One more breath, and then breathing out, coming back to the spine to bring the knees to the ceiling. And reverse, so left knee to the ground, right knee to the left ankle, turning away from them, getting a beautiful stretch through the front of the hip and through the whole leg. Back up to center. One more on each side. Twisting away from the knees. Back to center. Your out breath. Final one, I think it was. That's it. So you should release the hips a little bit more. Good. And then let's finish off our exercises. We won't work on our fronts today. Give Maria a bit of a rest from that as well. We will do some bridging. So feet flat on the floor, arms loosely by our sides. Find that width through the back of the shoulder blades and squeeze in the bum to lift you up. Think knees over toes. Hold it for a count of 5. And then come back down again. We'll do a few more of those basic ones. Again, very much strengthening for the back, as well as working the legs and the hamstrings. Really think knees reaching away from you to get a beautiful long line, and then almost a karate chop at the pelvis to come back down again. One more basic one. And then from here, we're going to squeeze, lift up into the bridge, extend your right leg away, hold it for a count of 5. That's it. Place the foot down. This time, before going down, drop your right hip towards the mat, rolling down on that right side. Center, so you're nice and flat again. Roll over to the left. Heel off. Then center, back into that standard bridge. Unpeel the left leg, extend it away. Hold it out for a count of 5. You're re-squeezing the bum on the standing leg. Put that foot down. Drop the hip to the left again and peel down on the left-hand side. Centering up at the body, to the bottom. Ready to roll over to the right hip. Heel off on the right-hand side. So there's a little bit of a pelvic tilt as well as a bridge here. Recenter. Extend your right leg again. I'm squeezing to the left. Hold it for a count of 5. Place the foot down. Come back down, nice and straight. And then come back up for a final squeeze into a bridge. Lifting the left leg away, holding it for a count of 5. Place the foot down. Thumb comes down. And we can relax. We will just finish off with some lovely leg circles. So lift one leg into the air, knees can be bent as we're just stretching out. And again, 8, stirring paint with the knee, but allowing the legs to be really, really heavy in the hip joint. 8 in each direction. If you want to work with a long leg, of course, please do, but it's very much just loosening off. That's it. Allow yourself time to breathe. Shoulders and upper body beautifully relaxed. Loosening off the leg. When you've done 8 in each direction, change sides. That's it. Very nice control from everybody. Reversing the direction of your final 8. When you finish your last one, no rush, but come up to sitting. And have one leg bent in front of you and one leg towards the back. Arms out to the side. We'll do our little mermaid stretch. So this is the one, it's like a side bend, send the arm to the side, arm overhead, tummy button to the side, come back. And again. Stretching out, lie the arm away, you can bend the elbows to take it to the ground. Although it's a lovely stretch for everything, do need to have a little bit of strength and control and balance. And then keep the arms off the mat if you can. Change sides. So again, nice little balance movement. And over to the other side. Slide the arm away, elbow and lower arm to the floor. All the time keeping your tummy button drawing into the body. 2 more. Sliding away. And final time. And then make yourself comfortable. You have finished for the day. Fantastic. Well done.